You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. It is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got your early edition Days of Our Lives spoilers. These are for the week of Monday, August 21st, all the way through Friday, August 25th. We've got 6 sizzling, maybe 7 early edition spoilers I'm really excited to present to you. We've got Xander and Sarah. We've got Li and Melinda. We've got more sad news about Victor. We have a surprise visit to town and a confession about some dishonesty. We're going to dig into this and unpack it all for you. But first, if you haven't already, please reach down and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates, news, and more. So I've got 2 spoilers about Xander and Sarah. I'm going to share them both with you together in a clump. So Xander runs into Sarah Horton early next week, and she has a big old baby bump on her. So there's no hiding that she's pregnant, very pregnant, but she lies and tells him that she and Rex got back together right after they split and she and Rex got pregnant. So Xander is very distracted by Chloe Lane. And his proposal, we're still waiting to see if there's an answer on that. And of course, he's very distracted by the death of his uncle, Victor Kiriakis. So when Sarah lies, I think he's going to just take her at face value because he's just distracted. He's got other stuff on his mind, and he thinks Sarah is a very honest person, so he has really no reason to doubt her veracity. All right, the second spoiler related to them is that Sarah confesses that she told Xander this lie. The big question is she going to confess it to Xander? I doubt that she will quite yet. We'll have to wait and see, but she may be confessing it to someone else, like maybe to her mom, Maggie Horton, somebody else. I just would be really surprised because, soap stories just don't move that fast, but it's definitely well past time that Xander knew that Sarah had his baby in her belly. Okay, we have got we have 2 Victor related spoilers coming next week in our early edition. First is Shawn Brady basically decides that it's his fault that Victor has died. We're going to find out on Wednesday, August 16th, that they found the wreckage of Victor's plane and there were no survivors. So by then, everybody knows Victor Kiriakis is dead. So Shawn blames himself for Victor's death. He didn't crash the plane. He didn't, do anything directly, but in his mind, the only reason that Victor was on that plane is because he was in Greece visiting his comatose son, Beau Brady. And of course, Shawn knows that Beau wouldn't be in a coma had he not shot his dad. And let's be real, Shawn did the thing in the moment that he thought was right, and that was protecting his mother from his unhinged father. And also reasonably, Beau was actually threatening Hope with a gun. He was planning to shoot her because he was out of his mind after all that conditioning from Megan Hathaway. So it definitely looked like Hope Brady's life was at risk, and it might well have been had he not stepped out of it at the very last second, but Shawn had already, pulled the trigger and sent the bullet flying. And I feel like this is going to be a very bad just couple of weeks for Shawn because he's been put into this high pressure job by the acting mayor. He's now the police commissioner. He's got Rafe's job, and he was just coming off a suspension from drinking for the job. Jada thinks that she would have been a better candidate for the job, but kind of sidestepped it when Shawn brought that up. So I am just really, really worried that Shawn is going to be back to hitting the bottle very soon. Another interesting spoiler, Li Shin is planning a romantic evening for himself and Melinda Trask. And what's interesting going into this is that they have legitimate chemistry. They have a good deal of legitimate overlapping interest. I actually think they might be a well-matched, compatible couple. The problem is that Gabby Hernandez inspired him by making that crack about whether he was going to get in bed with Melinda so that she was so blissed out that she wouldn't try to press charges on him for shooting Stefan. And Lee's attitude towards Gabby is, well, none of that matters because I'm completely innocent. But then his wheels start turning in his mind, and you can tell he was like, Gabby never had any complaints in the bedroom department. And so he really does think maybe he can do what Gabby accused him of doing and sex up the DA so that she is distracted into forgetting that there's any possibility that he's done something criminal. So that's his agenda. And at the same time, Melinda Trask's agenda is again to try to get a confession from him because Stephen DiMera was pressuring her to lay charges on him for trying to have him killed. And we all know that that's what he was doing. But she's kind of torn because she really does like Li. But remember, she has that massive crush on Stephen. And she actually wants to do the right thing as the DA, I think. And she knows that if Li did this, then she definitely needs to bring charges. So going into this romantic evening, they're each operating on their own agendas, and we'll see if things align and they each think they're getting away with it, or if everything blows up and we've got confrontations. All right, we have another Victor Kiriakis spoiler, and this is Marlena Evans and Roman Brady are remembering Victor. So they spend some time, I'm sure we're going to have flashbacks, probably more of Marlena with Victor than with Roman, because I don't know how much overlap Roman had with Victor back in the day. We'll see, but I am looking forward to seeing more footage because remember, this might be one of the last times that we're seeing John Aniston as Victor Kiriakis. You know, they're probably not going to keep showing a lot of older archival footage of him past his memorial, which occurs the week of August 28th. So enjoy that footage of Victor while you can and get your tissues out. All right, we've got two last spoilers that go hand in hand with each other for next week, and I'm about to unload those for you. If you have not, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives update. If you enjoyed this early edition spoilers, please click that like button. We love getting the thumbs up, and definitely drop your comments. We read all your comments. We love your comments. We appreciate you interacting with us. All right, last early spoilers. Kate Roberts gets a surprising visit from someone, and Chloe Lane is also surprised. And what I'm wondering is if both of these spoilers are entwined with each other, and both of them have to do with Philip Kiriakis. So we know that Philip is coming back. John Paul Lavoisier is in the role this time instead of J. Kenneth Johnson. And no doubt Kate is going to notify her son Philip once she gets word that Victor has passed away to let her son know that his dad died. However, everybody except for Paulina Price thinks that he is dead. So Philip coming back to town is kind of a problem because Brady might really be upset since he tried to frame him for murdering him by leaving his artificial limb in a potential crime scene. However, Brady also might not go after him because they're all coming together for the shared purpose of celebrating Victor's life and legacy at his memorial. But remember, the reason that Philip set up Brady was to try and win Chloe Lane. And maybe Brady knows now how Philip felt because Brady is desperate to get Chloe away from Xander as much as Philip was desperate to get Chloe away from Brady. So maybe Brady feels that common ground and maybe he'll decline to press charges and then Philip won't have to stay in hiding, or Philip could creep into town and on the down low and then creep back out. We'll know more by the end of next week. Thank you so much for listening. Share your comments. We appreciate you tuning into Soap Dirt on YouTube. Catch us again for your next Days of Our Lives update.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.